Welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. In an exclusive chat, we are catching up with TCS Global CMO Abhinav Kumar. He's speaking with us about many things, including taking charge at TCS as their Global Chief Marketing and Communications Officer, on TCS gaining $2 billion in brand value, highest value growth across global IT services industry, and key investments made by the brand to make it happen. He jokingly states how people refer to him as Chief Marathon Officer, with the number of investments made by the brand in running as a sport. Listen into this conversation. In a special chat, we are catching up with Abhinav Kumar, CMO of TCS. This is the first time that we are meeting on the show, and I've been looking forward to this conversation. Abhinav, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here, Shibani.
A couple of weeks ago, TCS became the world's second most valuable IT company. What are some of the significant things that you've done in the past, few months to enable this?
Fundamentally, we spoke to the brand finance team on what they think were the reasons behind this outperformance by us. And they said there are fundamentally two reasons. They said, a brand, and Shibani, you'd appreciate this as a long-standing runner. Building a brand, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to constantly build, and that's what it takes. So it was reinforcing to hear. What they told us is that all the investments you've been making over the long term, right? Whether it's your sponsorship of marathons across the world, whether it's being present in the right forums, whether it's the content you're taking out which is informing industries, whether it's your growing presence on social media, on the web, and so forth. It's all starting to kick in. We've been doing this for a long time, especially after our IPO in 2004 is when we really got into the marketing game. And the second thing they said is your perception scores have increased quite significantly. So whether it's customer satisfaction, it's on innovation, and it's customers who prefer us as a digital transformation partner, those have all increased. They measure about, I think, 22 different variables to arrive at this.
That's how they calculate the brand value.
Yeah, that's how you calculate it. And I think, we look at where we do well, we look at where we need to improve, and I think it always gives us...
So as a CMO, what is your strategy to take that #1 position now going forward? Is that also the vision? Is that the target focus?
I've always admired this campaign in a really different industry, in the car rental industry. So this company called Avis, whom we've also worked with over the years, they've had this wonderful campaign because they were #2 in their industry. So they said, we are #2, we try harder. I think it's great to be #2, right? When we started measuring our brand value, we were, I think, 8 or 9 in 2010. So we moved up the ladder. It's great to be in this position because, it leaves room for aspiration, that there is one spot to go and we need to go towards it. But we're also mindful that, you don't take that #2 for granted. You got to keep earning this space. It's a fantastic industry. As we said at the start of the conversation, I think technology has become so important. And more companies are, they're great companies operating in this field. So we are mindful that it is a competitive environment and we need to keep doing our best every day to build the brand.
And how are you doing that? How are you trying harder?
Well, many things, right? I think, as I said, we've made a lot of investment and we're continuing to invest, right? We've ratcheted up our investments on our brand over the years. We're a very big, complex, and a global business. We operate in 55 countries. So when you talk about the brand of the company, obviously in India, there is a good, strong, dominant position. And we also benefit very strongly from the fact that we are part of a big family, the Tata brand. But if you look at markets across the world, some of our larger markets, we made a good foray into and strengthened our brand, whether it's the US and UK, Netherlands, and places like that. But there are many countries we operate in where we still need to make that work, right? We have about 1,000 people operation in Peru. But if you ask me, are we a strong enough brand yet in Peru? We are not. We need to work on it. There are multiple ways we do it, right? It's, I think sports sponsorship is one of that, which gets our brand in a very material way into business hubs and cities, engages communities. It's by telling our story, whether it is using, channels such as media, social media, our own website and other things. It's handshake by handshake, right? It's meeting people, it's being part of different communities and all of that. So, and the digital part. Our brand needs to go where the attention and audiences is. And we are present on many channels, but just to take one example of it is, like you look at LinkedIn. So LinkedIn reached a fantastic milestone that they crossed 1 billion users earlier this year. But in terms of our specific interest in it, there are about 70 million decision makers out of those 1 billion. 7 million of them are IT decision makers, right? So 7 million people who either buy from us today or potentially will buy from us tomorrow are present on that platform, spending 3.5 hours of their day on it. So we strengthen our presence over there in terms of our company channels, in terms of some of the leadership and people and so forth, and then using many, many new tools to engage and both inform people, educate them, entertain them, but also, use that in a sense to build the brand.
Yeah. So physical and digital is
it's the balance of both.
Is
it's both.
Key focus area for 2024.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sporting sponsorships is one of part of the TCS strategy. And as a marathoner, I have to ask you this. Your last year was the first year of being the title sponsor of London Marathon, the race where it all began. The full marathon distance of 42.195 is where it all began in London. How did that pan out? And going forward, are you eyeing any more sporting sponsorships? Are you looking at anything, any newer marathons, anything beyond marathon as a sport? Of course, Formula E is already something that you have.
So Shibani, I was smiling because when you talk about marathons, the internal joke we have is when people refer to me as CMO, they often ask me, are you the chief marketing officer or are you the chief marathon officer, right? Because of our, sustained interest, passion and all on the marathons field. I think over the years, so if you look at our marathon strategy, right, we didn't start with that. When we started to really materially build our brand after the IPO, we went into many different sports. There was a time we were in the IPL as TCS. We've been into motorsports. We were a partner to the Ferrari Formula One team. We've been in pro cycling, many other things. But when we got into this sport of running, I think the sheer value which we see in it, not just for our brand, but actually for our communities in two ways, right? Is if you look at the technology industry, it's a very sedentary industry. An average colleague would sit 8 or 9 hours a day working on their laptop or their desktop. So what being a partner to Marathon has done inside the company has been tremendous. Today, out of our 6 lakh colleagues, roughly a third, 2 lakh of them are runners of some note or the other. Not all marathoners, but they run certain distances, right? So it has sparked desire in them to improve their health and their wellness. And same for many of our clients, which is just phenomenal. It engages our clients in a very emotional way. So Shibani, as you know, right, in Storyboard, you talk to many marketing organizations. And I think at the top of their desire is to engage their clients with their product or with their service in a very emotional way. Most clients don't get emotional about software or technology services. But if you look at our clients when they participate in these marathons, it's a really emotional moment for them. They've trained hard all year. For some of them, it's the first time they're doing it. I'll give you the example while protecting their privacy. Last year at the TCS New York City Marathon, I spent some time with one of our clients who's the CEO of a large bank in Europe. He had come there with his wife. Now, he's a regular marathon runner, but for his wife, it was her first marathon, right? They finished in an amazing time of just 4 hours. And, that moment meant everything to them. It's going to be one of the highlights of their lives, their marriage, and for TCS to be there at this moment and to enable it for them is such a great privilege.
And how much of your investments are dedicated towards this? And since you also mentioned that it gives you great value, do you keep on pushing that budget a little higher with each passing year?
I do keep pushing. The other conversation you need to have with our CFO. No, I'm just joking. I think fundamentally we've kept raising the investment level on it. I think any CMO you speak to and ask them, do they have enough of a budget, their answer will be never enough. But to be honest, I think as a company, we made a significant investment. In the B2B sector, particularly in IT services, companies have traditionally not made these kind of investments on the marketing side. We continue to do so, but marathon is an important part of our portfolio, but there's so much more which we do, right? I think I'm always mindful of the fact that, when you look at our product, it's invisible. It's easier, I would say, or I don't want to be uncharitable, but it's relatively easier to be a CMO of a car company, right? Your product is out there, your customers experience it, they drive it,
feel it.
Whatever, a watch company, a suit company, you touch it, you feel it. For us, what we do, our customers, it's invisible to them, right? Always, the true test of anything is children, right? So you look at my kids, they often ask me, what do you do, Dad, right? And it's like, my friend's dad, he makes these cars, right? He then makes these lovely Tata Motor cars or Toyota or whatever it is. What do you make? I said, software. It's like, what is that, right? And I think in that sense, it becomes more important for us to make our brand experiential. Marathons is one thing which does it, because we also use the Marathons platform to showcase technology in a big way. For all of these marathons we've partnered with, we are the official provider of the mobile app, which is built by TCS, and it has many services in it. For example, you can if somebody you know is running, you can track them, you can see where they are, and when they finish, you can kind of sequence it so that you're there at the finish line to give them a hug when they finish and things like that. But also many other things. We've done data analytics. A very exciting project which we just launched at the TCS New York City Marathon is, for the first time in history, we've tied up with Des Linden, who's a legendary runner in the US. And one of our teams has created a digital twin of her heart, right? So it's a digital version of her heart. So now every time she runs anywhere, the performance of her heart is being monitored, data is being taken out of it. And not just simple stuff like heartbeat, but really the performance of muscle tissue and other things. And based on that, the intent is that she will start getting more insights on how to improve her performance as an athlete. But there's a bigger play behind creating all these digital twins of hearts. By the way, it can be done for anything. One of our teams is working on something called the e-nose, right, which is a digital version of the nose and other things. The end goal of this is to make this technology available to average people, right? So tomorrow, I would have a digital twin of my heart on my smartphone. And what it will tell me is, you've had a hard week, you've not been sleeping that much, your heart is under stress, make sure you sleep on Saturday, right? Or something is up, your risk of heart attack has gone up by 20%, go see a doctor, or, take a hard look at your diet and things like that. So this can literally save lives, right? That's what, and what could be a better use of technology than that?
And it will come for mass application is something that...
Always, right, and mass application, okay. Working with one of our customers.
Oh, wow. Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for this chat.
No, thank you. It's such a pleasure.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Alex Katouzian, who's Senior Vice President and General Manager, Mobile Compute and XR, Qualcomm Technologies, on how will on-device AI change consumer lives and why should marketers take a note, what will lead to further scaling of AI in 2024 and much more. Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. In a special chat, we are catching up with Alex Katouzian, who is the Senior Vice President and General Manager, Mobile Compute and XR, Qualcomm Technologies. He was visiting India this week and we spoke to him about going forward, how will on-device AI change consumer lives? Why should OEMs and marketers take a note? And what will lead to the further scaling of AI in 2024 and much more? Listen in. Joining us in a special conversation, we have Qualcomm's Alex Katouzian, who is visiting Mumbai. Alex, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So, meeting with the team, what are some of the things that you have picked up from the conversations that you've had about the India market?
India used to be known as a low-end market, but no longer. I think the surge of the middle class and the ability to buy more has pushed the public here to pick up more high-end devices, more premium tier type devices. The user experiences have become much different. They enjoy much higher end capabilities. And we're very happy about that because we're a technology-based company and we think advancements in technology will always make better and better products. So we're always looking for that better user experience, and we team up with our partners to shape their products in such a way that better and better services and user experiences come through. And I think the public here has picked up on that, and this is great.
And one of the things that is driving better user experience on the devices is, of course, a platform that you launched a couple of months ago, which is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. We've seen a couple of flagships already in the market with this chip. Tell us more, how are smartphone makers, using AI on the devices, and are they using it to their fullest potential with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen?
Yeah, so I think, first of all, the 8 Gen 3 and the Snapdragon 8 in general, it actually defines what premium tier experiences are. We've set the standard for that. And with partnerships with our customers, they've also come to know that the capabilities that we produce year after year can produce much better products for them and for their customers. And so 8 Gen 3 has been a great success. It already has 40 separate designs and another 40 plus designs coming. So I think it's a very popular platform today. And you saw the Galaxy S24 launch, their AI phone capabilities with that. And I think AI has been integrated and in the background for so many years. We've actually, it's 10 years plus that we've invested in AI capabilities on device. You've seen it. If I walk you back, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Remember photography a few years back. Sometimes in low light, it wasn't that good. Sometimes in sunlight, it wasn't that good. Maybe you'd miss a shot or two. You'd miss the moment. The color correction wasn't well enough. Now, all of that actually happens with AI without you even knowing. Take a picture in low light. Take a picture in sunlight. Segment the picture in different color formats.
Or the steady moon shots and the
all
sun
the steady
shots.
moon shots. You know, capturing multiple frames at a time and then concatenate it to something special that you want to see. All of those things were running in the background. Security, detecting malware, detecting false networks. You know, some assistance, but not a lot. All those things were running in the background. But now AI in the past year has accelerated to become the forefront feature and function that people are looking for.
All of the things that you said are very, very powerful, and this is something that you have on your device.
That's correct.
Today. So the user experience of AI, because of AI, has been enhanced on your smartphone or your device. How should brand custodians and marketers take a note of this insight moving ahead and moving forward with their strategies going forward in the year?
So I think it's actually a change agent for the OEMs that are producing devices that people are using on a daily basis. The upgrade cycle has become longer and longer, but now that people are looking for that AI functionality and they're getting used to using that on a daily basis, they're going to look for better and better capable devices for themselves to buy. And we think it's going to generate an upgrade cycle that's faster than before. And so I think those OEM partners of ours are concentrating and trying to figure out, what do my users do on a daily basis, and how can I make it a better experience with AI, then generate those devices into the public.
But coming back to India, tell us about your India strategy moving forward. You said 17,000 people, 17,000 engineers in the country. Tell us more about your India strategy, your investments in the market, and how does the global look at India as a market today?
Well, first of all, technology-wise, both software and hardware, there's a massive talent pool in India. And I think the universities and the training facilities have done a fantastic job in producing that talent pool. And so we're very fortunate that we've established ourselves over 2 decades here, or close to 2 decades here, and we can draw from that talent pool and use it in advancing technology. So that's a credit to this country. Second, I think that the knowledge of the people on the consumer side has grown a lot. The influencers have helped. The OEMs that are here have helped. The big names have helped. Big internet companies have helped. And so we're kind of riding that technology wave with the consumers in India and trying to advertise and educate and figure out what user experiences are they looking for. We're working with retail stores. We're working with distributors. We're working with OEMs. We're working with the carriers, the wireless carriers here. We're working with foreign OEMs that have capabilities in this country. And we're producing what the country wants in a user experience fashion using our technology.
Yeah, we saw experimentation with AI in the past year, but this year is what experts say is going to be the real usage of AI and scaling up of AI. Can you share more insights on that? What will lead to the scaling up, and how do you look at it going forward?
Yeah, so I think beginning of last year was when you saw people talking, okay, what do these devices can do? And AI is starting to become a little bit more prevalent. It's coming to the foreground. But over the last 12 months, there's been such an acceleration. Look where Microsoft was 12 months ago versus now. Look at where Google was 12 months ago. Look at where Facebook was 12 months ago versus now. All of them all of the big internet, Amazon and others, all of them are looking to try to figure out how their services and operating systems and applications have AI inherently built in, meaning that once those capabilities are put out, inherently AI functions are being used in there. And then the ISVs and the app developers, the independent software vendors and app developers, all going to concentrate on trying to figure out how I can change my apps and my services to utilize that AI capability. And you know, the ones that don't will get left out. The ones that ride the AI wave and try to figure out how to use that to the best of the technology available will excel. And hence, we have to figure out how to embed AI in all of our products and all of our software, and how do I interface to my OS partners and ISV partners and app developer partners. So we work with them super tight to try to get that done. And then once that's inherent, devices automatically will bring AI capabilities to the users. Now the translation from technology to user experience is very, very important. So someone describing how that could be useful to you is of utmost importance.
And how does Qualcomm foresee the future of AI, XR, compute and mobile?
Every device is going to take advantage of AI, every device. Today, you hear all sorts of AI capabilities embedded into phones and into PCs. As we know, that's kind of transformative for it. Auto has all sorts of AI embedded into it. The automotive self-driving is all based on AI. Understanding what the car looks at, translating it into something that would be functional, all AI based. If you look at XR pair of glasses, talking to the device and actually having it do actions is all AI based. Understanding what it's looking at is all AI based. Even the watch, having AI based capability into it and adding to the function that already a watch does, with tons of sensor capability in the watch and understanding your health and your walking steps, all those can be accumulated with AI functions. So across the board, we're embedding AI into all of our devices and all the transformative businesses that we have.
So AI is going to be as big as the internet.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And look at what it's doing to search. You don't have to no longer figure out how to type something or look at a website. It just does things for you, and it saves so much time.
Alex, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Really appreciate for inviting me here. Thank you.
And after stellar success of the first edition of Storyboard 18's Visionaries initiative that happened in Gurugram a couple of months ago, Visionaries is now coming to Bengaluru. The second edition of Visionaries will be held on February 28th, and we will see brand makers from across leading companies and industries gather to celebrate the brightest minds in marketing. The Visionaries initiative recognizes leading lights who have transformed our approach to media, marketing and advertising. They are women and men scripting some of the most exciting chapters in the Indian marketing, media and advertising. They are marketing leaders with responsibility for a category, brand or innovation-led practice within their organization. Let's take a look. After stellar first chapter in Gurugram,
advertising is an accelerator. It makes a good product succeed faster. It makes a bad product fail faster.
Storyboard 18's Visionaries is back. This time in the innovation capital of India, Bengaluru. Join us as we celebrate the trailblazers of branding and marketing and decode their growth strategies for the future while building brands that endure. Storyboard 18 Visionaries, stay tuned. With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, X and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.